Hi everybody, and today we're going to be talking about a very important topic, and it has to do with attorneys. So we here at New Config have been sourcing attorneys for a while, and just to give you an example, the last 3 weeks we've placed 2 attorneys. A lot of law firms come to us, and corporate clients come to us to help them find attorneys. And in this video, I want to tell you why. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why it's really hard to recruit attorneys. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first reason it's hard to recruit attorneys is they are very disagreeable. Think about it. Attorneys get paid to argue with judges, with other attorneys, to negotiate with judges and other attorneys to find a compromise. They are very disagreeable. They are some of the most disagreeable people in our society. That's the way they are. They like to argue. That's why they became attorneys. One of the reasons they became attorneys. I'm sure there's many reasons. So when we as recruiters or as law firms or corporate clients present them an opportunity, a lot of them reject it. Let's say we present them an opportunity for an attorney versus software developer versus a senior financial planner or a senior accountant or a salesperson is like 3 or 4 times higher. They reject almost every opportunity. They are just very disagreeable. So what does that mean? So that's the first reason it's really hard to recruit attorneys. They're just very disagreeable. So what does that mean? What's the result of that? That results in the second point. The second point is that it takes a lot longer to get them interested. You have to send a lot more messages. You have to email them a lot more. You have to cold call them a lot more. You have to recruit them a lot more. You have to text them a lot more. You have to send them more LinkedIn messages. You have to go to more networking events to meet them and recruit them. The courting process is just a lot longer for an attorney versus any other position. It's just the way it is. Maybe doctors are just as hard or harder. But in our experience, and I've been running a New Config since March of 2012, so wow, so 13 years now, more than 13 years. Attorneys have been, besides surgeons and doctors, they have been the hardest, in my opinion, to recruit. They're just extremely hard to recruit. So they're very disagreeable. It's hard to get them interested in the first place. And then to get them interested, you have to put in a lot more time and capital. Spend more on emails, spend more on going to events, spend more on emails, spend more on texts, and it's harder to get them interested. So those are the 2 things. Now the third thing that's hard, it goes back to point 1. They are very disagreeable. So even after you negotiate an offer for them, they will counter you. Most software developers or finance accountants or CFOs rarely counter. Attorneys counter all the time. They're used to negotiating. They're used to this game. They're not used to recruiting because many of them are steady and long-term and secure. They don't switch roles that easily, but they're used to negotiating, and they negotiate all the time. So even if you get them interested, they will counter offer you. And the worst part about it is, after they counter offer you, you get them the counter offer they want, they will take your counter offer to their current law firm or their current company. And they say, look, I have this offer at the table, yada, yada, yada. If you don't give me what I want, I'll take this offer. And what happens is a lot of law firms, unlike a lot of companies that balk when a software developer or a salesperson says, I have this other offer, increase my salary. A lot of law firms negotiate with these lawyers, these attorneys. Why? Because they know how hard it is to find another one. It's extremely hard to find another attorney in the US, the point 1 and 2 I mentioned. So they rather just pay them an extra 10, 20, 30 grand and promise them a partner position later down the line and keep them than go through the whole process of finding another attorney that's good. So that is exactly what happens. So they counteroffer, you work with your client to get a counteroffer, or you're the client and you get them, you work with the partners, you get them the salary that they want. They won't even take that anyway. So you might even get them what they want with the hope that they'll take the offer, but they'll take another offer from the current firm anyway. So all that work is down the drain. And that work takes much longer than recruiting a software developer or a salesperson or a CFO. It's just a much longer process. And then you might lose anyway. So what does that mean? That means for you to retain an attorney, to hire an attorney if you're a law firm or a corporate company that's looking for a chief legal officer, etc., or an in-house counsel, it's going to take you much, much longer. So you have a couple options. Invest the time and capital in contacting more attorneys, email more attorneys, cold call more attorneys, meeting them at networking events. You could do that. But you probably don't want to do that. You probably want to continue getting your billable hours or making, if you're a personal injury attorney, winning a case for your client and getting your commission, your contingency agreement, your 30% on that. You don't want to spend half your time recruiting. And that is why it's a lot better to hire an agency like New Config. Just speaking from experience, you are good at what you do as a law firm. Whether it's workers' compensation or patent law or personal injury, whatever it is, commercial litigation, you are good at that. You don't have time to soothe the egos of these attorneys, placate their concerns, get them interested. That is what we do here at New Config. So we invest hundreds of thousands of dollars every year on attorneys, on getting attorneys interested. Whether it's building relationships with them, to get them to give us roles to recruit, or if they want to leave, building that relationship to help them find another role. This is what we do. Or spending the time and capital cold calling and emailing these attorneys, because you have to do a lot of these cold calls and emails to build that relationship. So my advice, if you are a growing law firm or you're looking for a corporate counsel, use a staffing agency like New Config. It's just so much easier. It's just a no-brainer than spending your time and effort recruiting these attorneys. So these are the 3 reasons, to recap, why recruiting attorneys is really, really hard. They're very disagreeable. Takes a lot more time and capital to recruit them. And even if you recruit them, they are going to counteroffer you. And even if you give them a counteroffer, you accept the counteroffer, they might not join you anyway because their current firm gives them a better package. It's just the way it is. It's extremely hard to recruit attorneys. That's why it's better to work with a staffing agency. I hope this was useful for you. If you want our help recruiting lawyers, attorneys, or paralegals, go to our website, newconfig.com, or click on the links on the bottom of this video. I hope this was useful, and stay tuned for the next video.